Hello everyone, and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Program, where I try to help you spend your wine dollars wisely. And continuing on theme, well, this is not exactly white, it's halfway between white and red. We're going to do 3 rosé. And rosé is a hot category right now. Now, at my store, I know it was hot in California probably 6-7 years ago, but it's really starting to catch on fire at my store, which I'm happy about because I love rosé. I think it's just a very versatile wine. It goes with a lot of different things, and it has a little more guts sometimes than a white wine because it has a little bit of the skin contact. It gives it that pinkish red color depending on which grape it comes from. Now, most wineries do what they call the saignée method, and saignée is French for bleeding, so they bleed off some of the red juice. They might leave it on the skins for 8 hours, maceration, or less, or whatever they're trying to attain. And most wineries do this method. They bleed off a little bit of juice. It gives them more concentrated juice for their red wines. So it's like kind of a cash crop. They make a little extra on the side with rosé. Now, some wineries literally make just rosé. I mean, that is what they do with the grapes. They don't do anything else with them. They use them just for rosé. Very popular to do that in Provence, especially where there's so many good rosés that come out of that area of France. We're going to do 3 different styles of rosé, styles meaning different grapes, and from 3 different regions. So the first one we're going to do is from Oregon. It is Del Rio Vineyards Grenache Rosé 2013, Rogue Valley, Oregon. So this has a little darker color to it. This rolls in at $10. And that's the thing about rosé, a lot of them, especially domestically. There you go. They're inexpensive and delicious. Well, we'll see. So let's do a little rinse. So my favorite rosé, now I don't have my tablecloth once again, so I'm going to try and be as quiet as possible on my marble top. Give it a little rinse. So my favorite rosé comes from Cinsault, the grape Cinsault. I also like Mourvedre, although I tried a Mourvedre about 2 weeks ago, and I was not impressed, which surprised me because a lot of good rosé comes from the Mourvedre grape, or as they call it in Spain, Monastrell. So let's see what we get on the nose with this rosé from Del Rio Vineyards. A lot of watermelon, cherries and strawberries. We get a little coconut meat coming through. A lot of red flowers. Rosé is really interesting wine. It really reflects in many ways the what you'd get on a Grenache. A lot of times on Grenache you get strawberry, so on the nose of this one you get strawberry. A little bit of that, like the rind of a watermelon, which is interesting. Let's see what we get on the palate. Yeah, really ripe. I'm getting some cherry on the palate, which is interesting. Ripe watermelon, cherries, strawberries. Very nice mouthfeel. Good acidity on the backside, and then I get that kind of watermelon rind thing going on the back end. A lot of people are going to like this one. A little rounder in the mouth. A little cherry skin also. That's what I would call a 10 in the delicious category. And there's good acid. I mean that's on the back end. It gets a nice dry crispness, which I like. Yeah, I'm going to go B+ on that one. I like it. Good job. Del Rio Vineyards. Let's do a little rinse. Now we're going to go to Trey Bush's of Sleight of Hand's second label. Well, he does some different labels. He has collaboration with Mark Ryan. Anyway, Renegade Wine Company Columbia Valley Rosé This is a little lighter than the other one. And this rolls in at $11, 2013. Produced and bottled by Sleight of Hand Cellars. Trey Bush is the winemaker there. And it says glasses. We don't need no stinking glasses. I like that on this. And this is the Columbia Valley Rosé, and the blend is 79% Syrah, 34% Cinsault, and Cinsault, and then 7% Counoise. Little Rhone Valley blend, Counoise. So there you go, Renegade Wine Company. Let's see what we get on the nose. So this has Syrah, basically Syrah, but it has that Cinsault, the one I love so much. Let's see what we get on the nose. A lot of red flowers on this one, a lot of cherries. This is a very interesting nose. Almost like a cherry bar soap thing going on. Little herbal component, not a lot of herbs, but there's just a touch, just a skosh. A little bit of strawberry coming through. This one is not quite as aromatic as the other one, but there's some very interesting aromas coming through. A little bit of peach coming through there. Let's see what we get on the palate. Definitely get that peach component. Cherries all day, but like cherries that are kind of not on the super ripe side, like red cherries, maybe a little bit of Rainier cherry thing going on. Strawberries for sure, there's strawberries on this one. A little bit of plum. A little bit of plum and that peach, but I'm more on the peach skin side, which is interesting. The red flower component is there. Good acidity, just like the other one. This one has a nice dry finish, which is so cool when you're drinking rosé. You want, at least I do, I want my rosé to be just a little bit on the dry side. Makes it match up nicely with food like Asian fare, salads, ham. Ham is really good. Like if you had a Cobb salad, this would be fantastic. And just, it's really delicious. Another 10 in the delicious category. Nice rosé. I'm going to go B+ on that one also. Now we're going to Argentina. We got one Washington. First one was Oregon, second one was Washington. I said Columbia Valley, I hope, Washington. Now we're going to go to Argentina. And this one is a Malbec, go figure, Merlot blend, Fabre Montmeo Rosé, Mendoza, Argentina, 2013. And this rolls in at $10. There you go. Fabre, I hope I didn't butcher that. Montmeo Rosé. $10. So none of them have been over 12 bucks. Let's see what we get on the nose. This is a lot darker than either of the two prior to it. Now this one's got a little stink action on the nose, which is interesting for you wine geeks that like a little bit of that stinkiness. Real earthy, almost like mushrooms, a little bit of earth, like forest floor. Cherries, plums. A little bit of herbal component coming through. I'm getting a little like the skin of a plum, the skin of the cherries is coming through also. This is the most earthy nose I've smelled on a rosé in a while. Let's see what we get on the palate. Little licorice, like a white licorice sort of. I've said that before. Like a little licorice component, cherries, plums, definitely plums coming through. There's like that little bit of that earthy, like forest floor thing coming. It's not a prominent part of it, but it's there, which is interesting. Three really delicious. I mean, all under 12 bucks. Rosés. This is a little bit fuller, creamier on the palate. I give this some more of a creamy aspect. Still very delicious. Delicious, you know, we were just talking about that. What does that mean, delicious? Well, I mean, what's delicious to me may not be delicious to you. We all know that's the case. But just that plum, those cherries that come through, that earthiness that gives it a little bit of a different kind of character for a rosé. And yet it still finishes dry. Yeah, that licorice, a little bit of rose petal, which I find very interesting. You know, they're not a bad one in this bunch. I'm going to go B+, maybe A- on this Argentinian rosé for $10. A little bit more interesting aspects to it. Finishes dry, nice, crisp, fresh, dry finish, which you're looking for in a rosé. Beautiful for warm summer days. Just sitting down, you're having some company over, you're cracking some rosé, you're sitting around talking, drinking rosé. Funny story, just real quickly. I had received a Jeroboam of rosé from a winemaker. I had done some. I did the crush down at Steel Winery. He sent me a magnum, a double magnum, a Jeroboam of rosé, and I thought, what am I gonna? I got to have a few people over to crack this. So, you know, it was Father's Day weekend. Family came over. I busted this open, and my future son-in-law started drinking this stuff, and I was drinking. I love it. It was Cab Franc Rosé, Steel Cab Franc Rosé, just incredible stuff. And I started drinking it, and he pulled out a beer a little bit later, and then he put the beer down. He said, "Why am I drinking beer? That rosé is great." By the end of the night, now granted we started early. By the end of the night, that big bottle between my daughter, my future son-in-law, and myself, bottle was gone. That's how good that rosé was. And you know, we're just sitting around talking. You know, we were getting ready to barbecue. We were doing all this stuff. No, actually, that night we had pizza, which it worked perfect with pizza, by the way. So, you know, rosé is, if you haven't dove into the rosé category, I encourage you to do it. It's not going to hurt anything. Look at $10, $11, $10. Piece of cake. And I almost guarantee you're going to find you like them. I know a lot of people kind of shy away from it. They think, all they can think about is white zin. Guys, this is not white zin. Very good with different foods. Great stuff. Thanks for watching. Cheers, and here's to keeping the snob out of wine.